This week marks 1 year of Degrees of Science. I wanted to show you a few clips of some of our best interviews over the last year. What's the most interesting discovery that you've made in your planet hunting so far?
Sure. So we have a system called K2-138, and I'm very sorry, all exoplanets have terrible names, but it was a system that we found using Kepler data. The reason the system is fairly exciting is it's got 6 planets in it, and the inner 5 planets are all small planets very close to their star, and they orbit in resonance. So a resonance is when the periods of the planets, those years, how long it takes them to go around, are related to each other by very simple integer ratios, for instance, 2 to 1. So the inner one goes around twice and the next one goes around once. And so what we see is this like clockwork system of resonances of tiny planets all crammed in close together. And the only reason they can stay so close together is because then they're in these really stable resonances. And the reason I love it is because it plays music. So resonances are intervals in music. And so you can actually turn these resonances into a song. Oh. And so it's a citizen science planet system that plays music.
Oh, that's awesome. We also heard the music that NASA put out about the black hole. That hopefully the music from that system is cool. Not as creepy as the black hole music. So
no, the music from the K2-138 system is more like Twinkle Twinkle, more really? Like a little melody. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what this book is all about?
It's one of those things where I wanted it to be something that, you know, kids are reading and saying, wow, but it might be something that a parent would read and be like, wow, I didn't know that either. And this is kind of an aggregation of those wow weather moments. One of the things that I love talking about is the weight of clouds. You know, a typical summertime cumulus cloud can weigh as much as 2 million pounds, which is a really big number. But there's no reference point to that. How much is 2 million pounds? What is 2 million pounds? We know it's a lot, but is there a way that you can explain that to a young child and a young learner in a way they'll get? Well, I researched how much an elephant weighs. An elephant weighs about 20,000 pounds. So doing some simple math, you could say that one puffy summertime cumulus cloud weighs as much as 100 elephants. And I think that's a visual that a 5 or a 6 or a 7-year-old child can relate to. And then you get into some pretty fun science. It's like, okay, well, clouds are floating, but elephants certainly don't float. So how could a cloud weigh as much as 100 elephants? So I think my book, Wow Weather, the original book, is kind of an aggregation of fun, exciting, and kind of wow weather moments.
There's certain experiments, the hands-on kind of stuff you show that really gets a big reaction from the kids?
During the physics show, when I have the presentation, I like to start with the big cloud, and that's always create this, you know, physics is the best. Liquid nitrogen, I use liquid nitrogen. It's a temperature that is 400 Fahrenheit colder than the temperature of your skin. So if you just pour liquid nitrogen, there will be a cloud, condensation, water vapor will be condensed because of low temperature liquid nitrogen. And then if you take a pot and you put boiling water, pour boiling water in this pot, and then you throw liquid nitrogen, huge difference in temperature, and then there is just, you know, fountain of this steam coming out. It's a huge cloud, and children love it. And then what we try to do, if we don't have enormous group, we allow them to walk in this cloud, and that's another great experiment. You're walking in the cloud.
Something people have heard the term of, but they don't know a lot exactly what it is. What exactly is El Nino and La Nina?
Sure. Most people have heard of El Nino, maybe from Chris Farley's Saturday Night Live skit. It is not, in fact, a storm. It's a global pattern, global weather pattern that is induced by changes in the temperature of the surface of the Pacific Ocean. So the central tropical Pacific Ocean gets a little warmer than normal, that's El Nino, a little cooler than normal, that's La Nina, and that has the power to change global weather patterns.
How cool of an event is this eclipse going to be for Central Texas next April?
It's going to be very, very cool, and it is one of the unique experiences that we have. I'm usually saying that watching a total solar eclipse is a visceral experience because you know it's coming, But when you get to see the diamond ring, it's fabulous. It's just a very, very unique experience. I wouldn't cross the street to watch a 50% or partial eclipse, but we should travel around the world to watch a total solar eclipse. It's a really unique experience, and it is beautiful.